Alright, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Like I said, I'd make a couple podcasts for you guys so that you could stay up to date with what we're doing. Surgery went well, guys. I'll probably be in sooner versus later, but we'll wait and see how that goes. So let's talk a little bit about Chapter 3 here. Chapter 3 is all about parallel lines. Okay, it's all about parallel lines. Okay, and we're going to look at how do they have special relationships. What are parallel lines? Where do you see them? Okay, and again, why do they have a special relationship? Okay. Our goal for today is to be able to identify different angle relationships created by skew, parallel, perpendicular lines, and actually one more thing. Okay, and that's going to be parallel planes. Okay, a parallel plane. Okay, we have some key vocabulary for today. Parallel lines, skew lines, parallel planes, transversal. Okay, these are all one set, and then these other ones, corresponding alternate interior and alternate exteriors, deal with parallel lines. Okay, so you'll see that in just a bit. Here's what I want you to do on your own. Okay, I want you to think and draw a set of parallel lines. You need to make it without a doubt that they are parallel lines. Okay, go ahead and give yourself 2 minutes. Pause the video and come up with a drawing and explain to yourself how you know that they are parallel lines. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. Okay, hopefully you were able to explain something. I was expecting something to look like this, and where you might say, hey, I know without a doubt because of the fact that they'll never, ever cross each other. Okay, I want to see what I just did here. Do you see those arrows in there? That's a notation thing, and it says those lines are parallel. They'll never, ever intersect. Okay. So where do you see parallel lines in the real world? Okay, you and your partner, well, not really your partner, but you and yourself, I want you to draw a couple sketches of each one. See if you can come up with 10 different places. So go ahead and pause the video again. Okay, hopefully you came up with a couple things. Some things that I were thinking of. Railroad tracks. Road lines. Okay. The beams of a building, floor and ceiling. Okay, all of those things are ideas of parallel lines, and some are even parallel planes. Floor and ceiling are something that should never intersect. We'd hope not, right? If it does, then it means the building's falling down, which in our case might be true, but nonetheless, we'd expect that they stay parallel. Okay? All of those are real-world examples. Okay. Now, a couple postulates here for you. Now, I know you've looked at these already, but I want to kind of talk about them. They are written way harder than what they actually are. The first one says if there's a line and a point not on the line, then there's exactly one line through that point which is parallel to the original line. So if you look at this diagram here, okay, I've got a line, this dark line here, line L, and I've got point P. And what it's stating is that if you've got a line like line L and a point P, you can only draw one line through point P that's parallel to line L. Remember that right there means that those two lines are parallel. The perpendicular postulate says the exact same thing, except instead of two lines will be parallel, there's only one line that'll be perpendicular to line L through point P. Remember, how many points does it take to make up any line? Well, only one. So if we're going to make something that's parallel or perpendicular to it, we need to make sure that we have 2 points for it. Okay, point P, and then the other one's going to relate to the line. Okay, so how many angles do you see here? Well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different angles. Okay, we're going to label this here. This is going to be line 1, and this will be line 2, and this up here, I'm going to change colors. This is going to be our transversal T. There's one of our vocab words, transversal. And what a transversal is it cuts two lines. Okay, it cuts two lines. Okay, now, let's take a look at this. This is the major key concept for this section. Okay, and the first idea is something called corresponding angles. And what a corresponding angle is, so if we go back to that last diagram, corresponding angles are angles that are in the same location on both lines. Okay, so upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right, and that's all on line 1. So if I highlight angle 1, that's off of line 1 in the upper left corner. If I look at line 2 in the upper left corner, I have angle number 5. There's a set of corresponding angles, so 1 and 5. Let's look at another one. What about if I choose 4? Oops. Let's get a better pen. Let's say I choose 4. That's my lower right. Well, if I look on line 2, my lower right is angle 8. There's another one, 4 and 8. What would be another one? You're right, 2 and 6. And finally, 3 and 7. There's your corresponding angles. They have to line up. Okay, they've got to line up. Let's see what else that key concept says here. So we did that one. This next one is alternate interior angles. Okay, so we'll go back here. Alternating interior angles. Alternating interior angles are angles that are in between line 1 and line 2. So in between line 1 and line 2. And that cross over the transversal. Alternating interiors. So they're interiors and they alternate over the transversal. Such angles would be 4 and 5. What would be the other set? Yep, 3 and 6. Those are your alternating interior angles. Okay, we'll talk about what the relationships are a little bit later because it kind of depends on what we're dealing with here. So there's that one. The next one is alternating exteriors. Okay, so alternating exteriors. Well, it's the same thing as alternating interiors, except instead of going on the inside of the lines, you go on the outside of the lines. So in this case, we've got angle 2 goes with angle 7. So 2 and 7. The other one would be 1 and 8. Do you see how they're alternating sides of the transversal and on the outside? Okay, very good. The last one we have as far as the key concept is this thing called consecutive interior angles. You may also hear me refer to this as same side interior angles. And consecutive interior angles or same side interior angles are exactly what they sound like. They're on the same side of the transversal and they're inside. So what would be a same side or consecutive interior angle to 3? Well, same side of the transversal. There it is. It's 5. So 3 and 5. And our other set would be 4 and 6. Okay, so those are our same side interiors. Make sure you have this in your notes for me. Okay. All right, so label each one of the different angles. It's the exact same diagram we just had. So our corresponding angles will be 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 4 and 8. In case you can't see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Corresponding, I'll have 4 sets. Everything else only have 2 sets. So our alternate interiors, 3 and 6, 4 and 5. Our alternating exteriors will be 1 and 8, 2 and 7, and last but not least, our same side interiors, or our consecutive interiors, will be 3 and 5 and 4 and 6. Okay. All right, guys, this is section 3.1. I'll have 3.2 and 3.3 up later today as well. Okay. Shoot me an email if you guys get confused with anything. Let me know how things are going. All right, take care, guys. Bye.